today at VEIU Leadership Conference coming from India, which is more than 7,000 kilometers from here. One third of the world, covering one third of the world. I'm in part of Asia, Middle East, then coming to East Asia, then East Africa, then West Africa. So what I'll do is that to make it faster, I'll read one paragraph and you summarize it, not exactly translation, but meaning of it inside. So I'll tell a little story at the beginning because there's no point of giving a lot of theory and a lot of concepts. So I'm happy to be among Christian community leaders and teachers and academicians. And I'll look at how do you do mentorship and capacity building of your team. Means how do you actually support your team to come up and create more capacity. So I remember walking into a campus-linked community center, like many Christian community or academic community may do, and that everyone described as a very good place, thriving with energy. The place had everything we like to see: youth activities, family counseling, small group fellowship, tutoring, small administrative team that seemed unusually efficient. And when I asked, how does all this run so smoothly? I received the same answer from different people in different rooms at different times. It runs because of her, one person, the leader, because of her. That was the only answer. So not the vision statement, no governance structure, not a leadership pipeline, not a documented system. Only one answer everyone gave is her. She was the coordinator, she knew how to get approval, how to calm conflict, how to ensure budget, how to convince donors, how to handle difficult parents, how to mediate between volunteers, and how to keep the calendar from collapsing. Everyone admired and everyone said she is the reason why we are doing well. It's in my country also and your country maybe. We only respect seniors. They should be respected. My father is elder to me, my uncle is elder to me. So we should respect them. But seniority is not the only reason of leadership. Seniority cannot be. So sir, hence please understand, many a time younger leaders come and we ask them to wait. They keep on waiting, not multiplying their competency. And when you are gone, they cannot take your place because the competency has not increased. I'll give two examples. In Kenya, one university, head of the department will always take the next faculty as co-head or co-lead and will be doing the work, the other is observing and also supporting. And when the first man is not there, the second man or the woman takes leadership. Naturally, there is no problem, and others also accept because he was a co-lead. And same in politics. For example, in England, when a government is in power, there is a prime minister, foreign affairs, finance, education, trade, commerce, all ministers are there. Opposition creates a shadow cabinet, shadow prime minister, shadow education minister, shadow finance minister. Means if by chance the government collapses, the opposition's government takes power and everyone knows who is doing what. There is a shadow, means you prepare an alternative always. In many of the Asian and African countries, this happens in Asia also. I'll give two examples. In Kenya, one university, head of the department will always take the next faculty as co-head or co-lead and will be doing the work, the other is observing and also supporting. And when the first man is not there, the second man or the woman takes leadership. Naturally, there is no problem, and others also accept because he was a co-lead. And same in politics. For example, in England, when a government is in power, there is a prime minister, foreign affairs, finance, education, trade, commerce, all ministers are there. Opposition creates a shadow cabinet, shadow prime minister, shadow education minister, shadow finance minister. Means if by chance the government collapses, the opposition's government takes power and everyone knows who is doing what. There is a shadow, means you prepare an alternative always. In many of the Asian and African countries, this happens in Asia also. In many of these countries, the leader who is in power is always scared of the next person in the same party. He is always scared of him because sometimes he will topple. And the people who are next line also is plotting how to remove the leader. And if suppose one of the second line, three people are there, suppose one person has come up, toppled the leader and became the president or the prime minister completely, he will ensure that the other two competitors are in jail. This is failure of leadership. Usually, leadership gives away next level of leadership to others as a favor and not as a capacity, not as the person who will take the mission to the next level. This is the problem of most of Asian and African leadership. You are not giving power as a favor, but because you are giving it to the person who is more capable or the team which is more capable. The other challenge of mentorship is, if I am a leader and I have 20 people in front who have to be mentored or capacity grown, there are 4 people who are not willing, and there are many people who are keen. So normally the leader will support the willing people, keen people, and avoid the others. This is a weakness, because you keep your organization, your members of the church, your members of the college very weak by avoiding one group to be helped and only focusing on another group. So, mentor dedicated. She's so dedicated. That means she will do everything to make it happen. No, it will not happen. Suppose a lady in my team is very, very dedicated, but she does not know if there are no funds available, where to go. She does not know if there is a conflict among people, how to solve it. There is no standard operating process. There are no rules of the game. Then mere dedication cannot create next level leadership or capacity building. Build capacity, not build systems. Capacity of the system, capacity of a team. Build the capacity of your team by system and not heroics, not individual dedication, but by system. What are the rules? Which is the authority? Then what is the hierarchy? How the changes can happen? There must be documented, written systems for moving ahead. This means any church, any school, any college, any political party, any corporate entity must have standard operating process. So in this situation, we do this. If there is a window of innovation, we can make a little change. But the systems are in place. If there are no systems in place, if there is no documentation, if there is no handover of the checklist, while doing an event also we make a checklist. If there is no playbook to do it, you cannot really continue the work. For example, in a Philippines Christian school network, there is a standardized student counseling process. So if he is the counselor, he will discuss the same way. If he is not well, she is the counselor, she will also go the same process. Someone may be better in talking, but the basic answers, process, counseling systems will be the same. That means your system is not dependent on one individual. Irrespective of the leader, the system will continue. You know, how a country is governed? By constitution, right? If it is a proper, good democracy, there will be a constitution. If the government or opposition, any leader or large number of leaders start breaking the constitutional rules, the country's governance will fall. That's the reason why constitutions are made. And whenever someone is elected through the constitution, like Hitler in Germany, and then throws the constitution in fire and breaks the parliament as Hitler did, the government fell. Second World War happened and Hitler was defeated because he did not follow the same constitution which has elected him. Most constitutions of the world are written constitutions and people follow it. Some people do not follow it. Some governments, some opposition do not follow it and the country suffer. There is one country which does not have a written constitution till date. Even till date does not have a written constitution, but there has not been one occasion that the government has not followed the unwritten rules, customs and practices, and that's England. England has monarchy, monarchy has no power. England has elections, elections are respected. England has a government, the government does not violate the constitution. England has opposition, but opposition goes within the limits of the constitution only. And therefore, England has managed to continue for 3-4 centuries without much trouble. And no military dictator in England ever. I would like to also bring here one point. Many people think a strong leader is he who can make others fearful, scared of him. And fear is a weapon of many leaders They cannot create systems if fear is the weapon. They cannot develop the capacity of the team if only he rules by the by the stick or by the gun. It has to be high psychological safety that I can say negative or I can criticize my leader. The system, mentor is the leader, and multiply is the succession. Many leaders created by using that model. 3M is the right way. In conclusion, I will tell, I might be anywhere, whatever, doesn't matter. I can guarantee 90% of you do not even remember my name. That's not important. That's not important. What is important is the message, not the messenger. I am only a messenger. God is great. I am only a messenger. It is the message is what is important. Message is, if you are a true mentor, create a system. If there is already a system, maybe develop it a bit, but maintain the system. So model, and model must lead to, as a mentor, to your successor, to your followers. So create the model, then mentor the model to your next team, and the next team then becomes leaders of tomorrow. They become mentors. They are more capacity now. And if a true leader talks of simple life, but in his personal life is luxurious, people will not respect. Even if he talks very well, very impressive, people will not respect. If a great king, lots of palaces, money, jewelry, everything, and he told you about whatever has been told in Christianity, you will not be impressed. It was Jesus who was hanged, who was killed, who was crucified, who gave his life. Therefore you listen to him. So it's not the power, it's the honesty of what you say. If you are a great leader, be a big mentor, not just a leader. And as mentor, build a model or a system, written, documented. And if you are having already the model, then take it further. It is not important how much you have. It is important to make your team work like this, that if you have 5, it becomes 25. How much you grow, how much you multiply by getting more leaders. The last line. It is not important what baggage, name, fame and all that. What baggage I bring in when I walk in. What is important is what footprints I leave when I walk out. If the footprints is that you become a better leader, a better mentor, create a stronger model and multiply your followers and your next successors, then my purpose is successful.